Last month I was able to build a Powerwall with an inverter and outlets and everything just in one neat, tidy package. And that is a great video if you want to check it out. But this week I was able to drive up to Maine and give it to my buddy. So if you want to see him and his wife's really great reaction to it, stick around. Hi, I'm David. Welcome to my channel where I like to DIY renewable energy and energy efficiency projects. I have a friend named Poet. He and his family live down in Florida for half the year during the winter in a tiny house on wheels, which is completely off-grid. The other half of the year during the summer, they're up in Maine, where they run Shaw's Hiker Hostel. Now this is in Munson, Maine, just off the Appalachian Trail. They have a little gear store and the Hiker Hostel with bunks. I drove up to Maine with the Powerwall, and I was able to give it to my buddy Poet and his wife and children.
This gives off 240 watts, and this is a transformer that splits the two. So this is the 240 that'll run the well, and this is 120 that we can use to plug our extension cord in and actually run lights and household appliances inside of the house. This I can hook the generator up to this, so if there comes a time when we're not, like when we first get it, I might not have the solar panels yet, but I can run it, charge the batteries, and then we would have enough to run the air conditioning unit or run the
so you
well,
could actually charge the batteries from the generator as well.
That is correct.
Oh wow, nice.
So this I understand to kind of be like a circuit box of sorts. I mean, this is a big step for us, and I think
this is exactly what I think we needed to really to be happy where we are. We like it a lot, but we've gone back and forth about this electricity situation, and I think this is just the lessons that we want to teach the kids. We like the idea of off-grid and of using solar, but not having to rely on the fossil fuels.
Now I expected him to just simply store the Powerwall maybe in a closet until the end of the season when he drives back down and takes it to Florida with him. Now he was so excited about this Powerwall that he decided to install it. He said it was too good to just store in a closet, and he was really thrilled about this French Cleat that I mentioned before.
Okay. Oh, and this is really cool. So French bevel, was it?
French Cleat.
French Cleat.
The French Cleat is a 45-degree beveled piece of wood that we were able to level and install on some studs, and then hang the Powerwall right on it, so it was nice and level.
Right there.
I even let it back here to start with.
More towards my side. There you go.
It really does. There you go.
Now Poet also purchased 2 of the Gill 48-volt batteries from Signature Solar. He used my discount code, which is DavidPaz25, and he ordered those ahead of time. So he has a little over 10 kilowatt hours worth of battery storage. Now he found that we could set them standing upright vertically in between the stud bays, and it just worked out really well. Now using those, we were able to hook up just one battery at the moment, but Poet is going to order some extra wires to jump over and parallel the second battery.
As if it were made for it. That's really handy how efficient it is on space. Back on. There we go. An underquilt hangs under the back and the loft insulates your back. So you should watch some videos on hammocking. But it's like just nothing. Yeah.
What are you plugging in?
I'm going to plug in a DeWalt shop vac. All right. Okay, so let's just plug it in first.
Yep.
Okay, so let's flip that on.
There you go.
And there we go. Now, I can see each one as it lights up. It's pretty awesome.
The Pelican should come see this.
Yeah.
I mean, I guarantee they would
Yeah.
be like, yes, please, here's
Yeah.
all of our money, make this for me.
Yeah.
What a thrill. I mean, seeing the reaction on Poet's face being able to do this reminded me of the first time that I was able to fire up my first original Powerwall and the thrill that I got from it, especially during a power outage. After setting up the Powerwall, we all went for a hike with the family, and it was a really great weekend getting to hang out with friends. Now, during the hike, Poet said, you know what, he was willing to spend the money right away and get some solar panels. So he asked me for help in deciding which panels to get, mono versus poly, or how many watts per panel, or how to set that up. Now, Poet didn't know. The great part about this particular grow watt inverter is that there's a huge voltage range. This means that you can set up 4 panels in series, 8 panels in series. I mean, it depends on the voltage of the panel, don't get me wrong, but you have a lot to choose from. So that Monday after the weekend, I called up a friend of mine, Zach, and I will leave a link in the description below if you'd like to contact him if you're in Massachusetts and are looking for some solar equipment. We decided on some Q cells. These are 390 watt panels. I bought 12 of them. Now these were a half pallet. There's typically somewhere around 27 solar panels per pallet. And it happened to be last year's model solar panel. So Q-Cell updated the model number on it. And so he was willing to sell these off at a pretty good deal. I was able to buy them at 31 cents per watt. Typically they sell for about 55 cents per watt brand new. And these panels are brand new. A few years ago when I bought my solar panels, which are in the backyard, I paid 28 cents per kilowatt hour for 3-year-old panels that were used. And I was thrilled to be able to find some used panels at 27 cents per watt. So paying 31 cents per watt for brand new panels is a really good deal. Now these solar panels are not going to be permanently set up in Maine. Poet is going to take them down to Florida with him. But just for that one day that I was up there, we laid out a couple of them in the yard, which is terribly inefficient for panels. You want them up with airspace underneath, and we know that, but it was just for that one day. On the Powerwall that I had already built, I had some pigtails coming out, some wire coming out with an MC4 connection on the end. And the way that I wired it, Poet could snap together the MC4 connection from the solar panel to the Powerwall, and he didn't have to worry about polarity because I had already made sure that the polarity was correct. We're ready to install a ground rod. Right here we pulled up a couple of pavers and dug a little bit of a cat hole. Now we'll just drive that in, hopefully. This is what we're going to use for it. So this is a ground rod attachment. Ground rod attachment here. And this is my hammer drill. We moved the pavers out of the way and drove the ground rod as far as we could. We actually tried 3 different locations to get the ground rod in, but there's a ledge there which is just a bedrock, and we could not drive that thing any further. Please check your own local codes if you're going to install a ground rod. At least in Massachusetts where I live, you need at least 2 ground rods, and they need to be fully embedded in the ground 8 feet. So we drove that ground rod, we attached an acorn nut to secure the ground wire to the ground rod, and that goes up to the power wall to help ground the system. Poet, what are we about to do here?
We are about to connect the two. Is it the fuses to the breakers, or the ground line between the two poles there? Yeah, I guess.
We are about to bond the neutral and ground bus bars.
Neutral to the ground bus bar.
And turn it on, Poet. So, do you remember the process?
I do remember the process. Okay. All right.
Click. 240 volts. Now, this is the part we didn't cover before.
Okay.
Open the circuit breaker box and turn on the PV disconnect. Good. And now, you should see it up here. 168.6 volts.
Sweet.
And give it a sec. It's just thinking about it. Now, do you see how it brought the lines on?
Yeah.
So now it's going to start inverting. If we press the down arrow twice, I mean not inverting, but charge controller, it is showing. So it's bringing in 1.7 amps from the solar, 253 watts from the solar. We have a cloud out there right now.
Yeah.
So when the cloud goes away, you'll see that come up.
Yeah.
But it is currently charging the battery.
Awesome. So that was awesome. Then we put the solar panels away, and Poet will be taking that whole system down to Florida this fall when he shuts down Shaw's Hiker Hostel for the season. This winter I will not be driving down to Florida to join them, but hopefully Poet will be able to send me some photos or video clips of his family getting to set up this Powerwall on their tiny house in Florida. Now, if you want to build any of this stuff yourself, I have lots of links in the description below. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you enjoy the videos, please like, subscribe, comment, and share.